Hey, welcome back to the channel. So guys, today is a very, very special day. As some of you might know, I went hunting for this particular figure right here. Yes, indeed, it is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Serpentor. Holy crap, everybody. This is an accumulation of a dream. We got these super early here in Canada at GameStop. I had already ordered a couple of figures from Hasbro Pulse.com, but I just couldn't pass up the chance to pick this up early and, you know what, do a quick review of this figure, unbox it, and, you know, give my initial impressions of the figure, you know, as I see it today. I have to say, this really has been an amazing hunt experience. Well, that was kind of a little bit, you know, all over the place. So many people were hunting this thing. It was absolutely incredible. But the fact that I finally found one and am able to unbox this with you to experience this today, it's an absolute blessing. Guys, let's take this chance, open this up, and see exactly what everyone's in store for. This is going to be amazing, guys. Let's have a look. Right in front of me, guys, as you can see, is Serpentor and his Air Chariot. Holy crap, everybody. He's finally arrived, and honestly, this is just something I never thought would ever happen. This is just absolutely incredible. So here we have the front of the package. As you can see, it's got a slip cover, which is cut in a diagonal, which we can see Serpentor here in his glory. My God, he looks so ferocious there. Serpentor and Air Chariot with G.I. Joe Classified branding. We do see the Cobra insignia just peeking in behind there. It's beautiful. If we tilt the top, we can see that it has Cobra branding all over the place, including the slipcover here. Just absolutely mind-blowing. If we rotate it a bit, we can actually see some of the skills that Serpentor has. I don't know what these symbols mean. You can actually look them up online. They are available there. This is number 57 in the line. If you're collecting to complete your set, you know exactly which number is to be expected. Here on the back, we have some incredible artwork. Oh my God. We do see Lincoln here, and Serpentor is actually sitting atop of Lincoln, like right on Lincoln's lap, almost like a sun. We see all the Vipers saluting Serpentor there. We see Cobra Commander and Serpentor having a rivalry. Obviously, Serpentor is having a major issue with Cobra Commander. We see Serpentor himself just there in all of his glory. Just absolutely incredible. We can see here that Serpentor is not afraid to go into battle as he's cauterizing a wound, which he's actually had. We can see the red-hot sword, or is it a dagger? I'm not really sure, but it is cauterizing some sort of wound. We see Destro and the Baroness going into battle alongside Serpentor behind, and all of the Cobra Troopers. Incredible. And then we see the entire Cobra Air Force, launching from what appears to be some sort of fortress. Now, underneath all of those smoke, could it be the Terradrome? We don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Then we have another, the other side of the packaging, as well as some of the warning informations. You know, don't swallow this, don't put it in your mouth kind of idea. And of course, the UPC code, if anybody's actually interested. But honestly, it's not really gonna help too many people, as this was a pre-ordered item. Through and through. Oh my gosh, this is just absolutely crazy. All right, guys. So I have gone through the trouble of removing most of the tape, which is covering a lot of the slip cover, which is just going to be annoying. So that would have just taken forever. So we just have to remove the slip cover just like this. We can see there. It is a beautiful slip cover case. We can see the twin snakes, which actually emulates the DNA kind of idea that that's always been surrounding Serpentor. Of course, he is made from the DNA of all of the greatest leaders and tyrants of the age of human beings. If we go ahead and open up the gate, oh, there he is in all of his glory. We'll just set that back a little bit further. Holy crap, everybody. He is absolutely gigantic. From what I've seen from other pictures on the net, he literally stands a few centimeters above Sergeant Slaughter, and that's absolutely just ridiculous in terms of like how tall this guy is. We can see his Air Chariot there, which is not visible in a window. We already know that it's actually inside of the case. If we zoom in here a little bit, we can actually see some of the accessories. He has his Cobra hood, which is another accessory we can put on here. Here he has his Wolverine-style forearm blades. Very, very cool. We do have the top of his helmet here for this additional piece for the Cobra hood. It's a different type of style. And on the other side, we see his scepter with a Cobra insignia, of course. All this heraldry, beautiful stuff. His throwing snake, which is a viper. As always, it is another Cobra. But if you were a fan of G.I. Joe in general, he would always throw these at enemies just to mostly scare them. But for the most part, if he was really trying to kill you, as with Duke in the movie, yeah, he can really do some damage. And the venom is really what kills you at the end. We do have his wonderful sword here, which has snake heraldry everywhere. Just a beautiful example. Oh my gosh. And of course, zooming in on Serpentor himself, what a beast. Just absolutely incredible. My goodness. Wonderful details all over the place. I love the soft goods. I love everything about him. Oh my god, he's just absolutely incredible. Beautiful. All right, let's try to put this guy and take him out of his package. Let's see what we can do here. How does this work? Okay, I think this seems to be the only place where you can actually remove everything. So I've already taken the tape off, as you can see, just to make things easier. All right, so I think we can just remove the whole thing as a tray, if I'm not mistaken. Come on, let go. Let go. Let go. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to come out. It does not want to come out. Oh, that's probably why. There's more tape here. No! Are you serious, guys? Man, just make my life harder. All right, so that's very important to notice, guys. There's actually tape over here on the display, so don't forget to take this out. That's why I cannot remove these things. Luckily, it's been loosely applied, so I can just literally remove it without having to take out a knife or anything like that. Alright, this should help us remove Serpentor from his plastic prison. There we go. Perfect. Whoa! Oh my god! Look at that, everybody. Oh my god. Let's start with Serpentor himself, though. I think that's probably the best thing to do right now. So let's go ahead and remove Serpentor. I think we can just... Can he drop? I think he can just drop. Come on, Serpentor, help me out here. There goes his head. There we go. That's it, yeah. Come on, Serpentor. You can come out of there. Beautiful, look at that. Oh, just gorgeous. Wow, just beautiful. Look at that face. Oh my god, that's just incredible. Yeah, you have to be careful with the headpiece. It really does come off because it was so tightly woven in there. Now he can move his head up and down with the headpiece, but the cowl on this version, see, it's actually affixed here on the back, so you got to be careful. His head does not want to move up and down. Actually, his head's in a really fixed position with this version of the cowl. Okay, the one that's actually fixed to his head. We'll try taking a look at the other one, because he really cannot move his head around anywhere with this. Like, you'd have to literally take off the headpiece, which looks terrible, and actually move that piece around. Love the snake heraldry everywhere. Man, this is just gorgeous. Look at these things. And of course, his look at the pattern on that soft goods cape. Just beautiful. That is a print. No, it's not. No, it's actually etched in there. Wow, that's crazy. Look at the scale work. Oh my god. Just gorgeous. I love looking at this guy. He's amazing. Look at the details in the forearms. There's a huge gap here. I wonder if there's a gap filler we can do with that, because that looks kind of weird. Yeah. Other than that, he looks absolutely amazing. Look at those boots. Just wonderful. Little bit of butt action, yeah. All right, let's see what we can do about this air chariot. My goodness. But yeah, wonderful to see Serpentor in all of his glory. All right, let's see what we can do about this air chariot here. All right, first off, there are some pegs in the back here. Okay, Oh, that's there. And that's there. Okay, good. Actually, let's find out if we got most of it out. Okay, we definitely got... We got one piece of the chariot out. Wow, look at that. That is incredible. Holy crap. Just beautiful. I can hear something rattling around in the sides, probably the guns. We got his King Cobra here. Holy crap. That's incredible. I love the way they've molded him. Kind of unfortunate with that little piece there, but what can you do, right? It also because he can articulate slightly. Look at the scale work. Beautiful stuff. Oh my goodness. And then we have the Air Chariot itself. Wow. Look at this thing. Look at all that gorgeous detail. Wow. Beautiful. No decals whatsoever. No stickers to speak of whatsoever. Love that King Cobra. My goodness. Look at all that gorgeous detail. Oh my god. Just beautiful. Wonderful attention to detail here. Just incredible. Oh my goodness. Freaking incredible. So beautiful. And of course we do have the inner pieces here. I don't think this turns. Does it turn? It doesn't look like it. Just looks like it's mostly detail. Anything else in there? No, I think that's it. Oh, wait. No, there is something else in here. Looks like we have a accessories pack. Don't know what that is exactly. Not sure what it is. There we go. Okay. And then, what is in here? This is... Oh, hello. Oh, shoot. Okay, it's a... Oh, man. Alright, it's the guns. The actual guns themselves. Sorry, I knocked the camera around a couple times. Yep, they're the magazines for the guns. Very cool stuff. 2 of them. We have one not extended Wolverine-style knife. And these 2 just kind of fell over. Yeah, there's a lot of assembly on this one, guys. But for now, looks like everything's here. Let's do this. All right, so the first thing it says is to attach the neck and the controller arm. So I think we can do that. So there's the controller arm. It's actually very, very cool. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pretend like I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to pop this in here and hope for the best. There it goes. Yay! I got it. All right. Then the snake. Put the peg into the hole. That's what he said. Yes, that is what he said. And I think, oh, check that out. It actually, you can see that the 2 snaps. I think once you put this guy on, it's over. He's not going back. I think that's pretty much it. No more returns on this one. Neat. Tiny bit of a gap there. Doesn't look too bad, though. I'll try to push it... You know what? Hold on. Just let me see if I can push it in off the camera. The head came up when I was doing that. So now I want to put it back. There we go. There we go. Nice. We can put this and down. You can actually see the little gun there. Probably put a blast effect. Looks like it anyway. Neat. Cool. It says to put the 2 fins on the back. Alright, so here and here. So we'll just do that on this side. That's it. That's it. Nice satisfying clicks. Sweet. Okay. Then it says to insert and assemble this little guy right here. So, all right. So we will grab some tape over there. Let's grab one of these. They're like Mausers or something. Somebody tell me what these are, because somebody probably know better than I do. All right, then we'll put the peg in the hole. Once again, there's a joke in there somewhere. All right. That's it. Nice satisfying snap. Wow, that looks pretty cool. Reminds me of Roadblock's gun, but a little bit more put together. And then we will grab the metal jacket in here. That's it. On the back, and then from here, we just find a slot on that side, and we finagle it. That's it. There we go. Oh, that's it. That one's not coming out. Beautiful. Right. Same idea. Put this into this slot here. Just like that. And then this slot into that slot there. There we go. Some adult supervision is required. There it is. And then both of these go into these respective pegs here. Just like that. Respective peg over here. There we go. Nice. Satisfying click. And there we have Serpentor's Air Chariot completed. Incredible. My goodness. Look at that. Just beautiful. When they unveiled this at San Diego Comic-Con, I was blown away. I was seriously blown away. Like, look at this. Just beautiful. There is some... There is something that's stuck in there. I'm going to have to clean that out. But other than that, look at the shine. It's beautiful. There's very little paint on this, but what paint there is just gorgeous. Oh my god. Love the little gun on the inside of the mouth there. Beautiful. Look at the details on the inside of the grills. Just gorgeous. And of course, those guns. Look at those guns. My god. Just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Holy crap. Gorgeous. Even the underbelly. Look at that. Look at those gorgeous details. Just beautiful. And of course the landing gear can extend. I believe. Yeah, there it is. So if he needs to stand. Yep, just like that. Oops. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if this is actually secure. I guess they did it so you could remove it later. I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into that. But for now, that's what it is. All right. There he is. The Air Chariot is complete. All right. Oh, that hole is bugging me. That really is. So they have the smaller version here of the Wolverine. For lack of a better word, I call them Wolverine claws, and I think you just affix it here, and it's actually the permanent fixture with Serpentor, kind of like fangs on a serpent, right? The way his hands are. Very cool. All right, so we'll just reaffix his head. He has a whole bunch of articulation too. You see, he's got a thigh. He's got an inner thigh cut there, right, on both sides, right. You know, he's got his double, man, he's stiff. He's got his double knee, right? Oh, that is really stiff. Oh man, he is really stiff. I'm not gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. That is a double. You can tell. That's a double thing. I just don't want to do it right now. It's really, really stiff. He's got a double elbow as well. Oh man, holy crap! He's super stiff. It is a double elbow. I don't want to do anything right now because like I haven't heated it up and I don't have a heat gun on me. So I'm not going to go too crazy. And again, like I said, he can remove his cowl if he wants to. Right? He's got a mid-twist. Right? And ab crunch. Very, very cool. Yeah, he's awesome. Alright, let's try to get him on this chariot. See how it looks. Alright, so if we... Now, here's the important part. There are peg holes on his feet, obviously. And then there are pegs on the actual chariot itself. So you just want to peg his feet into the holes like that. Okay, that one's good. And the other one, just like that. Nice. Again, he's not gonna really go too crazy. And then basically you can just have him arrange his arms like this. There we go. Not too bad. Come here. That's it. And there we have Serpentor astride his chariot. Holy crap, everybody. My God, look at that. Freaking incredible, I have to say. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. He's looking mighty badass. Freaking incredible. Amazing, guys. Oh my God. This is just ridiculous. I can't believe it. Been waiting so long for this guy. Now we finally have him. Oh, wow. Honestly, he was worth the wait. He really was. I can't believe, the size of him is just incredible. Give me a second, guys. Let me grab somebody so I can show you exactly how big this guy is compared to everybody else. He is literally massive. Give me 1 second. I just gotta take a look at this, guys. This is kind of crazy. This is ridiculous. So here we have Serpentor, right? If we take him off the chariot again, just for a second. Come on, Serpentor, let go. Let go. He doesn't want to come off the chariot now. All right, there he is. Okay. So yeah, if we take a look at this. So this is Serpentor, okay? And this is Gung Ho. Look at the size difference. Seriously. Like, this is them standing side by side each other. Like, seriously, he is a head taller. No, a few inches taller than Gung Ho. He's massive. He is absolutely massive. That is ridiculous how tall these guys are compared to each other. Like, seriously, if I was to do there, see how much more height he has on Gung Ho? It's ridiculous. Sorry, I haven't removed my Gung Ho from his plastic prison. So I'll bet you thought I forgot about the last few pieces. No, I did not. So out of the box, they do come as the snake staff, which is wonderfully detailed. We can see all that wonderful heraldry there with the snake cobra. Incredible. I am hard-pressed to remember if Serpentor actually carried this around. I believe he did it in like the first episode or second episode. Can't really remember. But I didn't see him use this too often. I think Cobra Commander actually had more of a snake motif going. It's funny, you can actually rotate the staff. It's hard to see here, but you can actually rotate it. It's actually on a swivel joint right here. Kind of weird. There's really no use for doing that, but interesting nonetheless. At the end of it, it's just a double jewel-encrusted pommel right here. But it has this almost like fangs, which is kind of neat. I really like that. It's very, very cool. And this one also, actually no, this one doesn't rotate. Yeah, only the top of the staff rotates. Interesting. We can, of course, put that in Serpentor's hands. The other accessory, of course, is his serpent sword. Now, I don't know the actual significance of this, if there's any relevance to any of the his past lives, but this does look, of course, everything is kind of like with snake heraldry in Cobra. This one does have a single jewel at the bottom on the front side. The back side does not have that. The other parts of the sculpt are exactly the same. I do love the design of the sword, very fang-like. It really does harken to the idea of Cobra. Very, very cool. He, of course, can hold that in his right hand. And then we, of course, have his signature throwing Cobra. Now, this, of course, was whenever he wanted to intimidate people or, in the case of Duke, try to kill him. That was a very traumatizing moment for kids back in the day, seeing blood, in many cases, seeing blood for the very first time with cartoon characters. This wasn't anime, we have to remember. Anime really went all out and bloodied up characters, but in terms of like kids cartoons back in the 80s, that was a whole new concept entirely. So yeah, this is a throwing snake. You're gonna obviously put this in Serpentor's hands to make it look like he's throwing it at somebody. The extended blades for his arm gauntlet Of course, this can be replaced very easily, not a problem. I prefer not to use these unless he's in a an action pose, but very, very cool to have this nonetheless. Excellent. This can just be literally replaced on his arm. You can just take that one out and put that one back in. Very, very cool. And the one accessory which I think everyone is going to want to use in this actual set is definitely the replaceable cowl and hood. And the reason you want to use these two accessories is because right now, as it is, of course, if I wasn't dropping them. Now, the reason you want to use these two is because, as it is, the hood and cowl, which comes packaged with Serpentor, this does not allow for much movement, if any movement at all. You really can't move his head left or right or anything. If you try to do that, you see there's a gap that forms at the top of his head, and in many cases it just comes off completely. And then you see he's got a square head. There seems to be a bit of a paint splotch here as well. I didn't even notice that the first time. So what you want to do is, for this particular one, you want to lift up his soft goods cape, detach the cowl, the actual hood, from the back. It's actually probably easier if you just pull it off from there, and you'll notice that there's a peg right here. You can see it right there. Very, very easy. And of course, there he is. Serpentor has a very square noggin. He's got the square noggin. That's what we're going to call Serpentor from now. Serpentor Square Noggin. Forget SpongeBob SquarePants. This is Serpentor Square Head. That's right. There we go. All right, that joke's getting really, really old. So what you want to do is you want to take the square portion, which has, of course, a hole there, and peg it right into the square portion of Serpentor's head. Mash it down very, very securely, and there you go. You have Serpentor with a movable head. Look at that. What a concept. He can now move his head from left to right. So basically, he does do a full... It's on a ball peg, so you can go a full 360 if you wanted to. He can go... Oh, wow, he can go really high up. That's crazy. And he can go pretty far down, actually. Yeah. Looking down on all of his minions. There you go. And then it's a simple matter. Now, you can leave this. There is a version of Serpentor that looks just like this. A lot of people have been talking about that. I don't know if I prefer this version. It doesn't look that... To me, it doesn't look that great. But the way I think many people, particularly in the old school G.I. Joe fans, are going to want to do this is they're going to want to take this peg, which you can see there, and put it back into the back of Serpentor, recreating his cowled appearance, but still allowing for very much... You really got to peg it in there. So you can see here, if it's loose in any way, it's not going to really fit too well. But there, you see like that? You really got to dig it right in and just get it all the way to the back. There we go. All right, and there you have Serpentor with his movable cowl and movable face. Really does have that nice effect. Sweet. And there he is, everybody, the Emperor of Cobra Serpentor. I've got to tell you, everybody, this honestly is the accumulation of the G.I. Joe Classified series up until this point. I mean, honestly, it's been, I think, almost 3 years now since the line started. And yeah, I really am impressed at the way they've been able to, honestly, pivot. The reality is that when the line started, it was very much in line with the video game which was being focused on at the time, and the fans really were not too receptive to that. Some people really enjoyed it, some people didn't. And then, the G.I. Joe team over at Hasbro really did recognize that something had to change, and I'm so glad that they decided to go back to a more traditional style of G.I. Joe, leaning a little bit more towards the animation, but at the same time going back to their roots for many of the characters that were, hearkening and so beloved over the course of the time that G.I. Joe has been around. I mean, it has been, 40 plus years, and this is just the accumulation of that entire dream. Holy cow, everybody. This is absolutely insane. It's amazing what the G.I. Joe team has been able to do here. I really am impressed at what they've been able to accomplish. Just looking at this version of Serpentor, my God, they really have, made this into something truly, truly special. Just absolutely wonderful. Freaking incredible. Wow. Just spectacular. Whew! Wow, guys. What an amazing experience. I gotta tell you, putting this guy back together really did remind me of those days. Putting G.I. Joe figures and, of course, their vehicles together as kids. The only real experience that was lacking, if you will, but I don't even think, in terms of like being an adult collector, that it's actually lacking. There was no affixing of any decals or stickers onto the actual, chariot itself. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, I am terrible at doing that. So I really didn't miss anything in terms of that part of the experience. But I have to tell you, this particular figure has gone above and beyond everything, all of my expectations, everything involved with it. The attention to detail, all of the, just the wonderful tiny little details that are involved inside of the actual grills, all of the wonderful decals that are on the stickers as well here. Just every little bit, every little piece of this, and the subtle paintwork is just incredible. I love all the design details. The guns themselves, the magazines, and even the turbine, which, as I said, does spin, but it's kind of useless in that fact. But heck, I just love the idea that they even bothered including that. And some of the stuff that you wouldn't normally look at. Look at those thrusters on the inside of the undercarriage. Just freaking beautiful. And of course, we can't forget the tiny little details here. Just the wonderful stuff like the landing gear. Just absolutely insane. Wonderful stuff. Guys, the more I look at this, the deep dive into this, I realize that I've missed something else. I see little pieces like this vent section right here. Just beautiful. Again, the more I look at it, I see all this wonderful rich detail, and I can't be happy with it. And that's just the chariot itself. Serpentor, oh my God. Definitely one of the most detailed figures I've ever seen. All of this wonderful skill work, just absolutely incredible. Just how important it is that we recognize just how good this figure is. Now, he was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. We here in Canada were able to get him early at GameStop. They have a relationship in terms of the Hasbro Pulse exclusives, which is amazing for us. We get to take a look at this very, very early. The price on this was not cheap. He was $129.99 Canadian. That is not cheap. Add taxes, like $140 with tax. This is something where you really do have to decide whether or not this is going to be part of the collection, but why wouldn't it? Including the chariot, this is just a wonderful piece. And of course, one of the biggest parts of the history of G.I. Joe. So I am super excited to add this to my collection. I do have to say that at $130 Canadian, I think that plus tax, I think that's pretty much my cap for this one, honestly. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts after looking at this unboxing? Are you guys in on your own Serpentor? Has this been as wonderful of an experience for you as it was for me? Can you guys wait till you get your own version of Serpentor into your hands? Or is this just the sign of times to come, and $79 US or $120 Canadian is just too much money to ask for a vehicle and a figure combination? Let me know those in the comment section below, guys. This has been an absolutely wonderful unboxing. I hope you guys did enjoy. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Destroy G.I. Joe! This I command! Yes, Lord Serpentor. Keep proud, everybody. Keep proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It really means a lot and really helps the channel to keep growing.